good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, hitting cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. To all my friends and relatives in four directions, you are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local and national Native news and events, and as you know, Haley, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Yes, you are right, Dega. This portion of the show is supported by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition, and you can learn more at miwsac.org.
Awesome. Hey, we got a unbelievable show. I've had people call me on the phone and text me after they saw your promo, Haley, about our guest, and they're really excited to listen in, and we're really excited to have Rickey on. And Rickey Medlocke, who's Lakota Sioux and Cherokee, an American musician, a founder and current member of Lynyrd Skynyrd, and frontman for Southern indigenous rock band Blackfoot. We want to welcome you, and we are just so happy and grateful that you're on, Rickey. Thanks for being on Native Roots Radio.
Hey, I wouldn't have missed it for anything. I really wouldn't have. And thank you for inviting me and having me on.
Well, Rickey, this is you got something coming up here real soon, and I just want to let everyone know that I'm Wakanja Hade, a Robert Pilot of Ho-Chunk Nation, a citizen of Ho-Chunk Nation, and I'm really glad to talk to another brother that's been in the music business because, you know, Rickey, us natives love rock and we love Southern rock, and we're just really blessed to have you on today.
Well, you know, I got to tell you, I'm really quite honored by this because this is actually, you are probably the first Native-run media radio station I've ever been on. And this is quite an honor. And I really appreciate, like I said, I really am honored that you've got me on here. I really am.
Well, and it's really great timing, too. You're going to be here in the Twin Cities, Medina, the legendary Medina Ballroom. And also, you have a new single coming out, Never Run Out of Road. And we want to talk about that. We want to talk about you. We want to talk about there's a nonprofit that you're supporting that's near and dear to everybody's heart that listens to the show. And so we're excited to get going. And I know my Chujunk, which means niece, Haley here, the producer, she loves music. And Haley, just jump in and anytime you want.
Oh, well, thank you. And Rickey, thank you so much, Pinagigi, for being here. I just want to introduce myself. I'm Haley Cherry, the producer here. And like Robert said, I'm his Chujunk. So he is my Dega, my uncle in Ho-Chunk language. And I am also Ho-Chunk descendant and descendant of the Winnebago tribe in Nebraska. And my name is Trasha Pewungawenik, which means Little Eagle Princess. And thank you again, Rickey, for being on.
Well, thank you, Haley. I appreciate it. Yes.
Well, you know, this show wouldn't happen if it wasn't for Haley. So she's got a grip of questions here for you. And I know by talking to you a little bit pre-show that this is going to be a really jam-packed show. I would like you, if you don't mind, Rickey, and our listening audience and watching audience all over Turtle Island, I wouldn't mind if you just did a promo for me right now.
Sure.
Say your name and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
You got it. Hi, I'm Rickey Medlocke of Lynyrd Skynyrd, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio right here.
Oh,
yeah.
Right on, Pinagigi. Hey, Haley, let's talk a little bit here to Rickey. Why don't you pop up one of the first questions here? I got a little technical difficulties going on here, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I know that we're here to talk about your new single, the Rickey Medlocke Band's song, Never Run Out of Road. And this supports our missing and murdered Indigenous women and relatives in our Native communities and across Turtle Island. And like you said, this is probably the first Native ran radio station that you've been on. And we're really grateful to be here in the Twin Cities, where we have Minneapolis, where American Indian movement started along the American Indian Cultural Corridor on Franklin Avenue. Yes. So this, our missing and murdered Indigenous women and relatives, this, it's a really crucial epidemic going on in our communities. And I think every person knows someone who's been affected by this and has lost someone or has still to this day never found their relative. And I just want to point out too, like we talk about so much here on Native Roots Radio, how much the state of Minnesota does for MMIW and MMIR. I just want to shout out like our state senator, Mary Kunesh, who we're so thankful is on every week with us. And she's worked so hard across the legislative table to push the first ever MMIWR state office across the country, which is amazing. So I want to shout out State Senator Mary Kunesh, as well as Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition and our Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center as well. Yeah. Well,
Rickey, let's talk a little bit before I forget, because I have a good memory, but it's short. I'm one of those baby elders now. I'm 62. I'm one of those baby elders. Let's talk about the show Friday, and then maybe talk a little bit about how the single came about.
Well, here's the way it goes. And I'm going to kind of retrace some stuff here, starting with the way this single came about. And I'll even rewind and go back even a little further. I was here for years through a production company out of LA. I was trying to get a TV show into production about missing and murdered Indigenous women. And we were trying to get the funding, trying to get networks involved, doing our best. I had been in touch with some people and had them interested through William Shatner's production company. And honestly, we got shut down at every turn.
Wow.
Nobody wanted to hear. Nobody wanted to, talk about it. So it kind of got put on the back burner, as they say. Now, even before that, I had done a preliminary show called Homeland Nation, where if everybody wants to look at it, they can see the trailer for it on YouTube. And you type in Rickey Medlocke Homeland Nation, and you'll see basically what it was about. There again, was shut down at every turn for funding or, network or anything like that. Nothing back then like it is now with all your streaming platforms. Well, this song was a song that I had written probably several years ago, 6, 7, 8 years ago, with another really incredibly talented musician by the name of Charlie Starr, who is the lead singer, lead guitar player for the group Blackberry Smoke. And what happened was, when the Lynyrd Skynyrd goes on hiatus, I'm left, trying to figure out things to do with my time because I'm sitting for 3, 4, 5 months at a time. And anybody can tell you that's close to me, probably my significant other, it's not a good thing to leave Rickey being bored. I can only do so much fishing, and it's time for me to be on the road, pick up a guitar, and play music. What happened was I have a very, very good friend who was in the latter parts of the group Blackfoot when I kept the band going, and his name is Mark Warple. And Mark had a band, or has a band, still does, called Them Pesky Kids. And they are up there, they're up here in Minnesota playing current gigs and stuff like that. Well, anyway, this song was culminated by Mark and I. And through Mark's connection with a guy named Scott, was put out on Rock the Cause. Rock the Cause, you can pick a charitable organization to donate part of the proceeds. And that's what I did. I picked the National Indigenous Women's Resource Center. And that's kind of a roundabout way to explain it. But I'm very happy to do so. And not only that, charity.
Let's take a quick break, Ricky.
Yes, sir.
Right on. This is Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and we'll be right back after this short message. Oh, wow.
Alusa.
We are your relatives.
We are your relations.
Brothers,
sisters,
sons,
daughters.
And some of us are your grandchildren.
We are your community. Historically, we held places of honor and respect. Because of the impact of colonization, some of us are rejected, thrown out from family, friends, and community, set up as targets for sexual violence, sex trafficked, humiliated, tortured, and murdered. Everybody has the right to be safe. We are your relatives. Remember,
homophobia is not traditional.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hey, if you're like a lot of people, you're probably relieved that the holiday celebrations are over. But there's one thing that might stay with us from the holidays besides all those gifts, and that's COVID-19. Numbers from COVID are going up as we spend more time inside. And Native Americans are seeing even bigger case spikes. With all the indoor celebrations over the holidays, you may have unknowingly been exposed to someone with COVID-19. That's why it's important to stay vigilant. If you notice any symptoms like a fever, a tickle in the throat, or heavy fatigue, take an at-home test. They're still free and can be ordered at sayyeshometest.org. If you do test positive, you're eligible for free treatment, and no health insurance is required. Visit health.state.mn.us to connect with providers and receive your treatment. Let's make 2024 the healthiest year ever, securing a brighter future for our Native community.
You're listening to Native Roots Radio. This is Spirit from Reservation Dogs. Get up and listen.
Welcome back. Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by All My Relations Arts and their current gallery exhibit, Okizi, in partnership with the American Swedish Institute, running now until April 13th at 1414 East Franklin Avenue, Minneapolis.
Right on. Hey, we are here with Rickey Medlocke, and he's Lakota Sioux and Cherokee, and he's an American musician and founding member and current member of Lynyrd Skynyrd and frontman for a Southern indigenous rock band called Blackfoot. We're so excited to talk about his new single. Also, he'll be playing March 1st at the Medina Center Entertainment Center and with Black Oak. And the tickets, ticket information, do we have that, Haley?
Yes. Well, we can go on the Medina website. I believe the Medina Entertainment Center still has tickets going out there. But yeah, it'll be coming up this Friday, March 1st. I know doors open. Was it 7:30 and show is at 8 o'clock, I think.
I think doors are open at 7 o'clock.
7, okay.
Yeah.
And Rickey kind of makes everyone wait, have a few cocktails, and then they come out, and then they jam on for hours, right?
Well, we got we're coming on. We'll be on it by about 9:15 and do an hour and a half of full-on assault music. And I tell you what, it's really it's kind of a walk through my history of music. There's Blackfoot songs in there. There's some Lynyrd Skynyrd, and there's songs featured by artists that was a big influence in my life. Artists that people will recognize their songs and, stuff like that. But it's also kind of a storyteller's night. And I tell a couple of things, that people maybe do not know about myself and about, my roots and where I came from as far as music goes. And it's a well-rounded show. We're excited about it. In fact, I'm on my way to rehearsal in a little while to put the finishing touches on, and we'll be ready to rock.
Awesome.
Right on. Hey, Rickey, we had a break for a commercial, and you were giving us some really awesome information about, this group that you support with your new song and your new music. I'd love to have you finish your story up.
Well, as I was saying is that this all culminated with us taking the song, recording it, and a guy named Scott from Rock the Cause Records came in, wanted to do this project. And I found out that you could choose these different charity organizations, whatever you wanted. Well, I got a hold of a very good friend of mine who is a brother, of course, and his name is Gil Birmingham, the actor that plays on Yellowstone. That's the tribal chairman, on the show. Gil and I have been like brothers for years. And I got a hold of him because I knew they in the third season, they had done a segment on Yellowstone about this particular, about this particular problem. He said that Taylor Sheridan, when we did that, donated to a certain charity. Let me get a hold of him and find out which one it is. Well, he did, and he came back to me, and he said Taylor donated to the National Indigenous Women's Resource Center. And I went, boom, there it is. That was my first one. And then I picked two other ones, which is the Dream Catchers Charitable Fund from the Eight Nations up in Seneca, up in Toronto, and also the National Wolves, Save the Wolves Foundation. I'm big into animals. I'm a huge animal lover. And so there's the three there, but the National Indigenous Women's Resource Center was my main one, is the main important one for me. And you know what? There's 3 more songs coming this year. And those 3 songs, I'm going to continue to have part of the proceeds go to just this particular problem. As a matter of fact, I was watching watching the break there and seeing what you guys do. And I'd like to talk to you about, donating to one of the funds up here. And we can do that at some point,
Yeah, that's awesome. And Rickey, it's really awesome. And my wife is usually on, and she talks about our sacred animals at least once or twice a week. And we're with you on that. We here in Minnesota are really fighting to preserve our wolves, our population. We have the largest gray wolf population in the country here. It seems like when we get further away from the tall buildings, people don't respect Mother Earth or Father Sky or our relatives.
Right. Well, something, I get upset, I have a lot of good friends in the music business, and a lot of those friends are hunters. And look, I can understand about, if you're going to hunt and you're going to feed yourself and your family and stuff like that, that's not a waste. But I'm very upset about a lot of things. Here recently, one of my friends in the music business took a guy out and they shot a white buffalo. And I got very upset at that. And from what I understand, it was on a farm of some sort to where, they could pay to get on the farm and they could go and, make heroes out of themselves and do the kill. I guess there's no reverence put to the fact that any white buffalo is very sacred to natives. And, that really didn't sit well with me. But, something, the Wolf Foundation that we're donating to comes by way of that picture that you see that goes along with the new record. That photo of me comes by way of a very incredibly well-renowned photographer. Her name is Kat Benzanova, and she travels exclusively a lot of times with Aerosmith and Guns N' Roses and people of that sort. And when we were doing these donations, getting up to donate to different places, I knew that she had started this foundation about saving the wolves, and got a hold of her, and she said, Rickey, you're more than welcome to use that photo as long as you donate to that charitable organization. I said, no problem, you got it. So I'll continue to do with every song I put out. I'm telling you, I will continue to donate to the MMIW. I will continue to donate to a lot of your, animal resources. That's my big thing. That's what my heart tells me to do, and I follow my heart.
Hey, Rickey, we got like a couple minutes here, and I'd like to give everyone a little taste of your new song here while we go
Please
out
do.
to commercial. All
right.
Let's take a look at Never Run Out of Road.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Woohoo!
Like so many before me, I know the highway is the truth. With every mile there's a story, and never running out of road till the good Lord leads me home. Counting lines in all directions, old southern winds carry me, with the same old wicked temptations. The nights defy unto me. I've got that reason for moving on, and I'll never run out of road. The truth will lead me on. I've got good reason for being gone, and I'll never run out of road till the good Lord leads me home. As I roll under these northern lights.
Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States.
And 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected.
Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf.
Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy.
As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired.
Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl.
All My Relations Arts presents Okizi. Okizi means to heal, and the exhibition highlights the healing power of cultural revitalization for Native communities. Okizi showcases prints, mixed media, textiles, beadwork, digital collage, and glass sculptures by Native American and Sami artists. It explores indigenous communities' active healing efforts through language revitalization, land back movements, and embracing traditional knowledge. Visit All My Relations Arts to experience Okizi through April 13th. More information at allmyrelationsarts.org. Life can be hard. Sometimes it feels like there's no answers, like there's no way out. Hennepin County's COPE Mobile Crisis Response is here to listen and help you find a way through whatever is going on in your life. Call 612-596-1223 for no-cost crisis support anytime, anywhere in Hennepin County. That number is 612-596-1223.
Do you want a fast way to save money? It's easy with Rudy Luther Toyota. Start with the Luther Advantage Card. With every new and used vehicle purchase, you'll get 3 years of 10 cents off per gallon of gas at holiday station stores, as well as discounted Works car washes for only $6. Plus, the Luther Advantage Card gets you other benefits too. See their website for details. And Rudy Luther Toyota wants to buy your used vehicle. They'll ensure a great offer. Go to RudyLutherToyota.com for the details. Saving money and getting you a fair price is easy with Rudy Luther Toyota, the southeast corner of 394 and 169 in Golden Valley.
Peace of mind shouldn't cost a fortune. We keep things simple at Schroman Law because we believe planning for your estate and end-of-life care shouldn't be stressful or expensive. Every client relationship starts with a free consultation so clients have the information they need before making important decisions. From there, we work closely with clients to ensure they are choosing the most efficient and cost-effective plans for their specific needs. Schedule a free consultation today at schromanlaw.com. That's SCHROMEN law.com.
February is AM 950 Listener Appreciation Month. We can't run the station without you, and we wanted to show you how much we appreciate you listening to us. How it works is pretty simple. Throughout February, we'll ask you to like posts on Facebook, sign up for our e-newsletter, and call into the shows. When you do, you'll have a chance at winning prizes like gift cards to restaurants, tickets to our listener appreciation events, and much more. It's our way of thanking you for being a listener to AM 950. You are appreciated. Thanks from everyone at the Progressive Voice of Minnesota, AM 950.
Next Chapter Booksellers is the perfect destination for indoor winter activities. Cozy up with a book. They have all the bestsellers and new releases. Plus, their booksellers are great at making recommendations. Beyond books, enjoy mind-bending puzzles and family fun board games for those snowy days. And don't miss Next Chapter's in-store events, book clubs, author signings, and children's story time. So stay busy this winter with Next Chapter Booksellers off Snelling and Grand in St. Paul. More at nextchapterbooksellers.com.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for sunny skies today with a high near 20. Tonight, clear with a low around 13. And Thursday, sunny with a high around 50. Savor the excellence at Maverick's Real Roast Beef in Roseville. Elevate your taste buds with their range of sandwiches from the savory Philly steak to tempting turkey bacon avocado. Explore crispy chicken, fish, brisket, and pulled pork options. Check out mavericksbeef.com or visit them off Lexington in Roseville. That's Maverick's Real Roast Beef.
This is Leonard Peltier. I am in Coleman 1 U.S. Penitentiary, and I'm listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Development Institute, or NACD, in Minneapolis.
Yeah, what a great organization they are, and we really appreciate their support. Hey, we are here with our new friend, Rickey Medlocke, and he's Lakota Sioux and Cherokee, and he's also American musician and founding member and current member of Lynyrd Skynyrd and the frontman for Southern indigenous rock band Blackfoot. And Rickey, wow, what a great song! And we'll be playing some more of that cut a little later here. We really appreciate you being on, and I think this is kind of the portion of the show that Haley's got tracked out for me. Is that I don't know if you're old enough to remember the show This Is Your Life, but we're going to start asking you questions about how you got your start, and I don't know. We don't have anyone that'll come out and sneak in and knew you when you were young, but we'll have some questions. You know, how did you get started? And tell us a little bit about that.
My biological mother, her father, my grandfather, they were just a big music family. And my grandfather and my grandparents adopted me and raised me. And on my mother's side, that's where the Cherokee Creek connection comes in from her mother. And my grandfather and my grandmother adopted me and raised me. After I was born, my biological father, he kind of went elsewhere, went travels, did his thing. And so my grandparents raised me, and my grandfather played in and out of Nashville all the time with a lot of your well-renowned back then, a lot of your well-renowned country stars. And he was a road guy. And what was really interesting is that when he would come home and be home for a while off the road, he played on a TV show that was simulcast out of Jacksonville on the CBS affiliated station WMBR. One day he was going to do the show, and he went there and he asked the guy whose show it was. His name was Toby Dowdy. He asked Toby, he said, "Look, I've been working up a song with my grandson. I bought him a miniature banjo, and I would like to bring him on the show and let us do a song together." And Toby says, "Well, how old is your grandson?" He said, "He's 3. And he says, 3 years old? He can play what now? He goes, "I've got to see this." He goes, "Yeah, bring him on." So the following Saturday, my grandfather brought me with him, and I brought my banjo, and I've got pictures of it. If people don't believe it, I have actual pictures of me standing in the TV studio with my grandfather, and he brought me on there, and we played a song together. And the cards and letters came into the TV station, and it was so overwhelming that Toby allowed me to come back, for 5 years. I was on there for 5 years, starting until I was 8 years old.
Wow.
So, in the midst of it, I learned how to play guitar, and I also learned how to play drums. And that's how I got my musical start, right there.
Wow, it sounds like how the Osmonds got their start on what's his name show back in the day. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, Andy Williams. Yeah.
Yes, that's a great story. Now, was your grandfather named Shorty?
Yep.
So that's the Shorty story.
Shorty Medlocke. Yep.
Yeah. Wow, what a story. What a story, huh, Haley?
Absolutely. I mean, 3 years old, that's quite the talented little toddler there.
I love telling that story to people because they kind of look at me like, and then I pull out the pictures, and they're going, "Wow, you're kidding." And you can see me right there holding the banjo, and right there next to my grandfather, and Toby's over our shoulder. And you know what? I'll be honest with y'all. I really feel like I've had a really extraordinary life. I've been involved in music this whole time. Never really wanted to do anything else. I felt in my heart this was my destiny, was to play music. And you know what? I'll never forget my grandfather when he first saw me playing live on stage, with Blackfoot, in front of a big crowd. I'll never forget, he looked at me and he told me, he says, "You know what? The Creator gave you an extra special kiss when you were born." And I've always taken that to heart and go, yeah, I think he was right. You know what I mean?
Wow, what a great story. So that's was a lot of your influence with country, and then country rock came to be. Is that how that went? Or tell some of your other influences.
Well, my grandfather really, other than country, he was big into the blues and the Delta blues. As a matter of fact, when I first joined Lynyrd Skynyrd as a drummer back in early 1971, we went by my house to drop my luggage off when I flew into Jacksonville, so I could go start rehearsal with the guys on drums. I played drums with the guys the first time around. So they were able to see my grandfather. He was sitting on the porch with a dobro on his knee, on his lap, playing the blues. And Ronnie, the original singer, was just taken by that. Well, later on, Ronnie used that inspiration, as a lot of people know now, use that inspiration to write Curtis Lowe, the Lynyrd Skynyrd song.
Wow.
And my grandfather was something else. He not only could he play all these stringed instruments, but he played them incredibly well. He was very gifted, very talented. Banjo, dobro, mandolin, guitar, harmonica, violin, fiddle, right through the whole thing. And I picked up that. I guess it was a gene that was born inside of me. And I've used it ever since day one.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah,
in like the late 60s, early 70s, is that so I was just I'm 62 now, so I was, in my teens. Was Southern rock just starting then, or had it been around for a while, or was it morphing from something else?
Well, you know what? Southern rock was a term that the record labels used. I remember when the Allman Brothers started out, it kind of wasn't used then. It wasn't until Lynyrd Skynyrd broke big in in 73, 74 that the term Southern rock started being used. And and then all of a sudden I was in Blackfoot and it was still being used, Southern rock. We never really thought about it being Southern rock. We just thought we were a band from the South, and we played what we played, and it was rock and roll. We just never considered that. But it was the actual record companies that gave it that term. And you know what? It still follows right today. People, I got to tell you, people flock in droves to come out to see the band and to hear that music. I mean, that music is so iconic and will be around a lot longer after I'm gone. That's for sure. And you know what? We're proud of what we are. I'm proud of what I am, for sure.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like I said, I feel very blessed and fortunate that I've been able to do what I do and, make the music that I make. And you know what? I hope that I'm here for many, many more years making music, because this is all I love to do. Merle Haggard was asked a really incredible question one time by a young lady. She said, "Mr. Haggard, why you don't need to be out here? You've got yourself set in your life. Why do you do this?" And he looked at her and he said, "Honey, this is what I do. I play music. And the same goes for me. This is what I do." I couldn't think about doing anything else.
Wow. And just the iconic songs back then, Freebird, Simple Man, Sweet Home Alabama, just these songs that I grew up with that are still being played in classic rock stations across the country.
Oh, yeah.
Tuesday's Gone. I mean, God, this is just, Haley and I are going to make sure we get out to Shakopee there and see, or is it Prairie Island to see you, but also going to try and get out there Friday. Tell everybody, Haley, again, where he's going to be playing, where Rickey's going to be playing.
Yeah, so this Friday, March 1st, show is starting at 8 or 9. I think you said you'll take the stage, Rickey, at the Medina Entertainment Center in Minnesota here. And then Lynyrd Skynyrd, I know we were talking a little bit before the show, and Lynyrd Skynyrd has a show date here at Prairie Island, August 30th, I believe. And I would love to come out and support you, Rickey. I'd love to come out there and hear some of the classics. And I think it would be amazing if we could have all of the natives in our community show up and we'll all have a crowd and a little section rooting you on.
And we'll all have a good powwow.
Yes.
That's right. Hey, Rickey, let's listen to a little more taste of your song, Never Run Out of the Road, here for the break. You're listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake.
There you go.
Counting lines in all directions, old southern winds carry me. temptations. The nights survive under me. I've got that reason for moving on. And I'll never run out of road. The truth will lead me on. I've got good reason for being gone. And I'll never run out of road till the good Lord leads me on.
J&S Bean Factory is a native-owned, community-supported, cozy, artsy coffee shop which offers roasted on-site beans, live music, and baked goods. Relax in the beautiful outside patio. City Pages writes, voted top 10 coffee shops. Tucked into a quiet corner of St. Paul's Highland Park neighborhood, this coffee shop roasts beans on-site from the best coffee-growing countries in the world. Located at 1518 Randolph Avenue, St. Paul. The good stuff.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
I heard sex trafficking happens a lot in Indian country. What is that?
Here are some of the real reasons why sex trafficking happens in Indian country. Unequal gender roles that were forced on us by colonization. Communities don't have enough resources. Silence around domestic and sexual violence. Lack of attention and justice for missing and murdered indigenous people. There's a lot of behavior that keeps our communities out of balance. These are just a few true reasons why Native communities are targeted by traffickers. When these acts of violence happen in our communities, it opens us all up for exploitation.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States.
And 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected.
Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf.
Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy.
As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired.
Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl.
Annie, and I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Howling for Wolves, protecting wolves for future generations.
Howl! Ricky, you didn't howl with us, bro. Right on. Hey, we're here.
I'm glad to get that, the howlingforwolves.org. I'm going to save that, and maybe on the next record I turn around and I do that. We'll see.
Yeah, we could definitely hook you up with Maureen Hackett, who's the founder of that, and just exchange emails. She's a big supporter of Native Roots Radio, and also has been a guest many times, and it was just her birthday a couple days ago.
Hey, it was just mine, about a week and a half ago.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Right on.
I don't mind their birthdays now.
Haley's,
because I realize there's no going back, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Haley's birthday's coming up here. She's a Gen Zer. She's her generation's gonna save us and the planet here. But Haley's birthday, when is it? Saturday?
Yeah, Monday, the 4th.
Wow! Happy birthday!
Thank you. Ditto.
So let's talk a little bit. It got me thinking. Over the years, what are some of the fun people that you toured with all your bands? Oh. You mentioned the Allman Brothers. A tear comes to my eye when I think of those guys back in the day and the live albums that they did. Whip and Post.
Oh yes.
And all those songs. Who else have you toured with?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, back in the day with Blackfoot, we toured with, my goodness, we toured with AC/DC, Foreigner, Ted Nugent. We toured with Iron Maiden and the Scorpions, and I mean, it was just just an array of people that we were on the road with. With Skynyrd, I mean, over the years, ZZ Top has been with us, and Sammy Hagar has been with us, and I mean, just what, I really feel very fortunate that I have been able to stand on stage and next to some of the world's greatest musicians. I mean, I really have. I mean, I was just speaking to somebody about the great singer Paul Rogers from Free and Bad Company.
Yeah.
We were able to stand on stage, Johnny, Gary, and I, and stand there and play a song with them, jam with them on a song called Gone, 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 which was a Bad Company tune. And, those memories like that, and knowing that I've come in contact with some of the world's greatest, I mean, kind of became friends with Robert Plant, John Bonham's son. It's interesting when you're in this business, believe it or not, this business is a very small business because you do run into quite a lot of people. Like my significant other, she has been in the music business all her life. She's from Memphis, Tennessee, and she has sang with some of the world's greatest entertainers and greatest personalities that there is. We actually met each other when Lynyrd Skynyrd and Kid Rock was touring together. She sang with Kid Rock for 16 years.
Wow.
And before that, she was with Joe Walsh for 4 tours. She did work with Keith Richards and Ron Wood. I mean, the list just goes on. So now she's with us. She's one of the backing vocalists for Lynyrd Skynyrd now. But standing on stage, I've been able to stand next to Greg Allman.
Wow.
I've been able to stand next to Charlie Daniels. I've been able to stand next to whoever and actually play on stage with those guys. And you know what? I feel very blessed at that. I do. And
who do you listen to now? Is there anybody you listen to that's new now? Who do you put on your cassette player?
Well, you know what? I was just talking downstairs at the hotel here. One of my favorite bands to listen to, not too many people know about them, and I would urge everybody to go look up their music, is a band called Rival Sons. They're a really, really, from Rickey's point of view, they're a really good band. I also listen to Blackstone Cherry, who's going to be on this tour with us in ZZ Top. They're the opening band. I listen to Blackberry Smoke. I listen to those guys. I listen to a lot of stuff. And then on the flip side of it, believe it or not, I am a huge enthusiast for flamenco music.
Yeah.
I love Spanish flamenco music, Spanish flamenco guitar. When I used to tour in Spain, I used to love to go to Seville and go to the flamenco clubs and sit and listen for hours.
A little Malaguena on the guitar.
Oh yeah. I love Spanish guitar.
Yeah. Geez, that's unbelievable. Stan Kenton turned that into a big jazz song, but Malaguena is one of the most awesome guitar songs that I've ever heard.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's I want to play a little more of your music, but we got a couple more minutes. Haley, I know you're itching to get in a question there, and also, if you don't mind, give a quick promo of what's going on Friday to our listeners again.
Yes, well, Rickey Medina Band will be playing with the Black Oak. I'm sorry, I'm totally blanking on who is opening for you. But they'll be playing at Friday, March 1st at the Medina Entertainment Center. Tickets you can get at Medina Entertainment Center's website. But yeah, and then you'll also be touring with Lynyrd Skynyrd, which I'm totally pumped about come this August. So
that'll be great.
Yeah, I hear rumors that Native Roots Radio might have backstage passes. I said backseat passes. Backseat passes.
I'll take a backseat pass.
Yeah.
There we go. Do a live show out there.
Exactly. Well, Rickey, I want to end by playing your song here. Do you have anything else you would like to tell our listeners out there on Turtle Island? We have people all over the country listening to us on civic media in the Twin Cities, Wisconsin, in the 5-state area. We have a lot of people listening. The stage is yours.
I in closing, I would like to say, first of all, thank you two for letting me visit you two today and talk with you. It's a great honor for me. Other than that, you know what? When we all need to get involved in these issues, especially the MMIW cause, it's gone on for too long. Mm-hmm. It's been going, to me, it's an epidemic that's gone on for decades after decades. Mm-hmm. And I think that we need to get more involved. We need people in legislative branches to get involved and bring it out in the open and talk about it. It's like it's never talked about. And I really believe that we need that. I'm going to be out here talking about it constantly. It's not nothing from my hidden agenda, that's for sure. But thank you two once again. I really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to seeing y'all come out and boogie with us.
Right on, and we'll have you on again. This has really been our pleasure, and we'll do it again. And as you can see, we can do it anywhere in the country that you are. And so
there you go, you got
right
it.
Right on, Rickey Medlocke. Thank you, Big P Nagigi. That's play a little cut of your song, "Never Run Out of the Road." This is
Take care, everybody.
Ho.
The truth will lead me on.